Hello!
Hi.
We're here for another week of podcasting, also known as podcasting.
Mike and Adam's dreams and feelings to be more concise.
Yeah? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Okay.
We're the only podcast that hates clickbait. Why we hate it? The answers will shock you.
Yeah. 5 reasons.
5 reasons.
Number 4 will scare you.
Number 4 will scare you, yep.
So, obviously this is Adam. That was Mike just talking, and this week we have a special guest. This is the part where you say your name. You can't wave, it's not a video.
Hi, I'm Daniel.
We have my brother Dan on.
Sup?
And what do you got for us, Mike? Do we have a sponsor this week?
Oh, we have a sponsor.
Oh, the greatest sponsor?
Oh, we have
the best sponsor.
Lucky Charms?
We have the best sponsor ever.
He's reaching into his bag to pull out.
I think we're going to be sponsored by...
Oh, no.
Vita Chrysanthum Tea Drink. The fun of drinking a flower or a weed you find in your yard. Plus sugar.
Plus sugar.
Yes. So
I have a feeling that's going to be in my body in the near future.
So ask your local delicatessen if he has any of that.
I don't think that's a person. I think that's the name of a store. A kind of store.
Yeah, whatever. Ask your local Best Buy
Right.
if they have this drink.
Let's hope that they don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking forward to this. See, why did you have to show it at the start? Now I'm going to dread the next 45 minutes.
Hey, you put me on the spot. I didn't know I was talking in this.
What is this?
This podcast.
A podcast?
I was just going to be a quiet observer, but no.
Your name is on the title, Mike.
Mike the Quiet Observer.
Oh, man. So what do you got first for us, Mike?
Oh, gosh.
Or should we talk to Dan first? Should we ask him questions?
Let's get Dan warmed up.
Sure. What do you do, Dan? What is your official title?
What is my official title?
Titler?
Titler.
The Titler. Kind of like Ruler.
I am the titler.
Okay.
And I am a campus minister.
Okay.
And I'm also a barista.
Right? He's now officially the most hipster job title that we've ever had on our show.
Barista.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I make all those delicious drinks.
Yep.
For example,
I can make a latte cortado or a cappuccino. I can also make espresso. I can make you a pour over. I can do a lot of stuff.
Tell them the thing you said about basic white girls and how you make their drinks special.
So we have a drink. I work at Fuego, and our drink is called
for ice,
which is Spanish.
Oh yes.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh yeah. So our drink consists of a cold brew coffee, some milk, and a sweetener called agave. And so usually when basic white girls come up to...
Identifiable by their sweaters and Uggs.
Yes. And they're usually blonde too.
Hey. No racism.
Okay, sorry.
I represent half that.
That means I represent a quarter of that.
No. Anyways.
I am... I usually fill up the cup to about a quarter or a half, right between there, of the cold brew coffee, and then I fill it, the majority of it up with the milk, and then a healthy dose of agave. And Adam one time came over to Fuego, and we started talking, hanging out, and I explained this to him, and he's like, "Oh wow,
I didn't believe that it was true.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it was true.
Adam just didn't think it actually happened."
And then lo and behold, someone of my kind came up and was like, "I would like this drink." What is it called?
It is called the French Quarter.
The French Quarter. And she was like, "I would like a French Quarter," and I was like, "Good choice. That sounds really good because I am half basic white girl." Mm-hmm. And she said it was the best drink she's ever had, and at that point, I believed Dan. And
wow. Did you throw one on the ground and all these white girls huddled around it?
Yeah. Adam picks his head up.
Yes.
You could say my French quarters bring all the basic white girls around.
Ooh, that almost sounds like a song.
That sounds like a great band name. A little lengthy, but it gets the job done.
What is it called?
The French Quarter.
My French quarters bring all the white girls,
Basic white girls.
basic white girls, to my vicinity.
To my to my general area.
Yes. It's better than yours.
Yeah. And then they're repulsed by my personality.
Yes. Right.
So,
All right.
what do you got first for us, Mike?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna go right into probably. Should I do most fun? I'm gonna do most fun.
Yes.
Okay. So
It's supposed to be a little fun.
yes, we're gonna save the boring for the end.
Yes.
Yes. So most people don't know this, but Insane Clown Posse
ICP.
they have their own version of Magic the Gathering.
What?
Yes, they made their own card game.
Filled with clowns?
Yes, filled with clowns. It's
Okay.
called Into the Echo Side.
Okay.
And it includes cards like Vanilla Ice, Tech 9, and Boondocks.
I think a Tech 9 is a gun.
Apparently it's a
Is it a person?
it's a clown rapper.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. I am very...
Come on, you don't know Tech 9?
I'm very out of my element right now. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yes. And the different types of clowns are Dark Carnival, Psychopathic, and Underground.
What about nice family-friendly balloon clown?
Oh, and he didn't make the cut.
Okay.
So, my question, this is all part of my ICP unit that I'm on right now. So,
You're a juggalo?
question 1,
Yeah.
part A,
Okay.
is if you were a playing card, what would you be?
In the
Not in this game.
Oh, just in
Because
general.
we all know you'd be Dark Carnival,
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice. Yeah, obviously.
Yes.
But-
what would be the rules of your card?
That's a good question. I'll give Dan a second to think, but I think I have my answer. And much like my D&D character, which is like this kind of bard character, I definitely would be. My card would have similar effects where he. There's an ability in Dungeons and Dragons called Vicious Mockery, which does a certain amount of psychic damage on a roll.
Wow.
And may I just say, I have dispatched many a creature with Vicious Mockery, which is quite comical for Lucas, our dungeon master, to try and describe with words. It's pretty great. But I feel like my card would be something similar in that aspect, where I have a lute and I got some skinny jeans on, maybe a cloak,
Plus 2?
some guy liner,
Oh, wow.
and my abilities would be musical, I think, in song and word and charm.
Parody?
Parody, yes.
Satire?
Satire.
Yeah. I would want my card to either win the game
Instantly?
or lose the game.
Like on a coin flip?
Yes.
That'd
So
be great.
either you get heads and everyone gets the worst disease, and like everyone loses and vampires win,
Uh-huh.
or you get tails and everyone gets gold and a fresh chocolate sundae, and everyone gets a puppy.
Hey! What would your card name be called?
My card name, would probably be called, I don't know.
Mike's Dreams and Feelings.
Well, no one ever talks about the janitor in D&D.
That's true. Who has to come by and clean up all the bodies?
After the fight,
Yeah.
you roll to see if he cleans up.
So your card would be Mike the janitor?
Mike the janitor.
Like,
I can never die. I just get depressed if I can't clean up the mess.
right. Just perpetually dissatisfied with
Yes.
the cleanliness of your surroundings. And that would be your quirk. Like, you could be, you'd be, in a shop, and, you're trying to buy, this new magical potion, but you keep getting distracted by the little spill over in the corner.
Yes. It's like I use celery. I bought the potion. I can't fight with it, but hopefully it disinfects.
Yes.
So.
Is that potion called Clorox, Mike?
Yeah, probably. +3 bleach.
plus 3 bleach. -2 to mold. What about you, Dan? What would your card be?
What would my card be? I think I'm gonna base this one off my favorite League character.
Ooh,
yes.
This is something we haven't talked about yet on our
League of Legends.
League of Legends, which is great.
Yes. So my personal favorite character, his name is Nautilus. He's just like this big scuba diver. So what I would want, instead of being a scuba diver, I would like to be just some ginormous discombobulated head.
And scuba dives?
No. So I'm this giant floating head. And so,
I love that you're gesturing.
yeah.
He's
going
like
for myself.
He's like narrate.
Yeah.
Dan moves his arms in a circular motion.
That wasn't very circular, it was more random.
So, what he does, what this head does, is that, he has,
He's now pointing to his forehead.
sorry, he has, mental powers that,
He's now grasping something in the air.
he like uses the force that he can like pull people towards himself.
He physically pulled something towards himself.
And then after I've pulled, so I have like this psychic power to like move stuff around, but I can only pull stuff towards myself.
Okay.
I can't like push things away or like knock things up. It's only like pulling towards myself. So, it's a very useless card, but
So essentially, you just want the power of attraction, is what you're saying.
no.
That one move Scorpion does in Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Get over here.
And so, after I pull things to myself, I just like eat them.
Wow, that's terrifying. So you're just one giant Pac-Man monster, but a really lazy one.
Yes.
You're what Pokemon should be doing. Eating other Pokemon.
Mike, that's horrifying. That's a children's show.
That's nature!
But in the comic, in the manga, they actually do fight to the death.
That's terrifying. That's not
It's
true.
called Pocket Monster. You should look it up.
That's... Well, this show just got really depressing.
I know.
This is a PG rating, Dan. PG rating.
Whatever.
Next
I do what I want.
So, what's 1B?
1B. So, a little side cap on my ICP dissertation. ICP was voted worst hip-hop group of all time.
Okay.
Which is a surprise that white haunted clown rap isn't getting the street cred it deserves.
Right, it's earned that.
So I got a bunch of ICP quotes.
Oh boy.
Heavily edited.
Okay, good. Good. Can you replace the swears with maybe something happy?
I'll try.
Okay.
It might not rhyme.
Okay.
So
well, is it gonna rhyme with blank?
yes. Oh, I tried. So, I want you guys to rate them on an A to F.
Okay.
On their street cred level, where they would fit in Jay-Z's life,
right,
and stuff like that,
etc.
So, first quote is, "I ate a dead body.
Oh.
I ain't proud of it. I told you all about it, and you all applauded."
Well, if he wasn't proud about it, why was he telling people? That is just a blatant lie. F. Real gangsters don't lie.
Mm-hmm. Well,
gangsters tell the truth.
I want to know.
White said from an A to Z, not A to F. Thank you very much. So I'm giving that a Z.
A Z? Oh. I feel like we need a scale that's actually recognizable by people, so I'm gonna go with F.
The Hawaiian rating code, please. A to F. I know. Let's talk about it. I mean, he ate a dead body. What's the context?
He was surviving in an airplane crash.
Yes.
Honestly, though, it was probably because he ate a bunch of bath salts. That's why.
It almost sounds like he's quoting something you can do in Fallout. The Vegas one. In New Vegas.
Yeah.
You can eat dead bodies to get your health back, but if someone catches you, you actually lose dignity. Now, if this is a rap song all about what you can do in Fallout, A.
But does playing Fallout give you street cred, though, Mike?
No, F. F in street cred.
F in street
If you're
cred.
quoting video games, you lose street cred.
100%. I've never been on a date and come out of it for the better quoting video games.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, so that was the first lyric. The second lyric, does the boogeyman really exist? Well, is your mother a bald-headed woman of ill behavior?
First of all, my mother is a wonderful, caring, and loving person.
So the boogeyman doesn't exist because his code, or his...
What he's saying.
Yes, what he's saying is...
If you have...
If the boogeyman really exists, then your mother is a bald-headed woman of ill behavior.
Yeah, right.
And who's he talking to?
Right.
Who, I want to know whose mother he's referring to.
Right.
And why does she have to be bald for a man to be under my bed?
Do you think it's sexist for us to assume that the boogeyman is a man? Like,
no.
is that just a title? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
let's bring this into the 21st century. Boogie person.
Boogie person. What if the bald-headed mother is the boogeyman?
Boogie person.
Boogie person, I'm sorry.
Come on, Mike.
It's 2016. Get rid of it.
Not fireman, boogie fighter.
Boogie fight. Yes, because that's what needed to be changed, Mike.
Yes. So, your ratings on that ICP?
That philosophical dissertation on our fears, an A.
An A.
Street cred, F.
F. Dan?
I know. I have to give it like a B, because it's quite a massive diss.
It is. It's good. It is good.
Like, you'd probably get beat up if you said that on the street. So,
Going up to someone saying, hey, does the boogeyman really exist? Only if your mom's a bald-headed woman of ill behavior. Only.
It's a mouthful.
Yes, they could fight you. They could be like, well, I guess the boogeyman doesn't exist because that is clearly not my mother.
Right. My mother is a saint.
With hair.
With hair.
Yes.
Your mother, on the other hand,
Yes.
is balder than Barney.
Yes.
What?
Now this one I like. I had to cut out a few verses in between, but
Okay.
if I was a shooting star, I'd be like shoom. If I was a rock on the moon, I'd be chillin' like sup.
It's real positive, Mike.
Yeah.
That sounds like an 80s after-school special.
And that song is called If.
If what?
Just if.
Zero street cred.
Zero street cred. Makes you wonder and ponder.
Yeah. Gangsters don't try and shoot for the moon. They shoot each other.
They call each other moon and shoot each other.
Yeah. No street cred.
No street
yeah,
cred.
I'd give that an F.
Oh, sorry, ICP.
However, great lyrics for a class for music time.
Great Shel Silverstein poem.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Ooh, next one is Santa, forget you,
Oh.
'cause you are a woman of ill repute.
2016.
Right.
If I hear him on my roof, I will bust his butt in the tooth.
He's gonna hit. Now, okay. First of all, someone's failed anatomy.
Yes. You know, your tooth has a butt.
That's not how that works. Like,
Yes.
people just don't go around and have butts for teeth. Or teeth for butts.
Yes. I like
know,
that he
there's some
targets
people.
Santa. We
Right.
haven't even got to that part yet.
Right. Fictional. He's fictional. Santa's not real. Like, why is he making fun of a beloved? Oh,
Time to have the talk with Dan.
Dad. See, when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much, they lie to their kids about Santa to make them happy
And to make them good.
and to make
Oh
them good.
no!
It's all part of
Where did the presents come from?
stores, Dan. They buy it at the store.
The
Oh,
economy.
okay.
The economy. But yeah, why are they attacking Santa? Like,
Oh.
every gangster. You know that Snoop Dogg waits with eager breath on Christmas morning for
Yes.
Santa to come. You know that Jay-Z makes cookies for Santa.
Yeah. Christmas is the one time the rappers can be jolly and lose their street cred for Christmas magic. And ICP throws that away.
That's what I'm saying. And I've heard that Wu-Tang, for the weeks leading up to Christmas, they go around and carol together. like they love Christmas. And, you know, to attack such a beloved figure of Christmas, they immediately lose street cred.
Yeah.
Immediately.
It's the one day Dr. Dre won't rob you.
That's what I'm saying.
Out of principle.
It is the one day Macklemore actually looks appropriately dressed.
Yes. Yes. So, the Santaverse. Where does it arrive on the street cred?
Is there an F minus? Is that a?
There should be.
There's F minus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Extra fail. Okay, so this one's actually fun and whimsical.
Because
Once you take out the F words.
right.
Yes. What if I grew another head, and his name was Violent Ed? What if he headbutted me every time I cussed? Would I need 2 microphones to bust?
That does sound like Dr. Seuss.
Yes, it sounds like a Seussical.
And no one has more street cred than Dr. Seuss.
No, yeah, he's...
Every single one of his books is just straight fire. Like he's
Yeah.
he's serious bars there, Mike. Serious bars.
drops it like it's hot.
Red fish, 2 fish. Blue fish. I'm saying this wrong.
Get your references right.
I can't. I'm not cool enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, Dr. Seuss definitely cool. I'm giving that one an A. What do you think, Dan? He's thinking.
I am. I'm thinking very intensely. I think I'm gonna have to give that one an A+, actually.
An A+.
A+.
Wow.
Yeah, Dan really likes Dr. Seuss.
I do.
It's at his reading level.
Yeah, I would say that's one of their more street cred verses. Okay, yeah.
I love that we didn't even talk about the content. Just the
Yeah.
rhyme.
Well, you think that I added the word cussed. No, that was part of the original.
Oh, that was
lyrics.
original.
So, what he's doing is, he's asking, what if I grew another head? And then he names the other head.
Right.
And then the other head has a moral responsibility to headbutt him. I don't know how a head...
Do you think they would share the pain?
Maybe.
Because he grew out of
You
him?
know, yeah, I mean, spiritually speaking, you share the pain when you headbutt someone who cusses.
Is that in the Bible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Collisions 34.
Oh no.
But then he's like, would I need 2 microphones to bust? So eventually he makes friends with the extra head.
And they go on tour.
Yeah, they go on tour. So it's about redemption,
Yeah.
recovery,
And then, sharing.
sharing.
Yeah.
So A.
A. Yeah, definitely A.
A.
I think we're all in agreement.
All right. If you blink this next one, you'll miss it.
Okay.
Bathroom? Yeah, it's right down the hall. Don't flush it, though. I'll make dinner for y'all.
He's just being a good host.
Yes.
There's nothing gangster about that. That's just being a decent human being.
Yes. At first I read this and I'm like, those two things don't relate. Now as I read it, I'm like, oh, ew.
Yeah.
Let's just get that one out of the way. F.
Yeah. Nah.
Okay. So this next one actually defines what a juggalo is. What is a juggalo? Let me think for a second. He gets butt naked and then he walks through the streets, winking at the freaks.
Is that like the Juggalo thesis statement?
I think that's part of their Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the Juggalo flag of the awkward states of America.
He gets butt naked, then he walks through the streets, winking at the freaks. One nation under God.
Indivisible.
Indivisible. Something, something, America.
Something, something. Why is he naked? Why has he got to be naked?
It's the Juggalo rite of passage.
But it seems like that's something that they do normally.
I guess everyone's a Juggalo.
You do that normally, Mike? You just go out on the town?
It involves streets. I can't say I've been in the streets with nudity. Thank the Lord.
But does that mean you've been naked and winked at a lot of freaks?
What is a freak? Like, okay, obviously the person in that scenario is the naked person.
Yes.
Dressed as the Juggalo. That's the freak. So who's freakier than that?
Maybe a bearded woman?
Other
Mike,
juggalos.
that's just a condition. Mike, that she didn't choose that. Mike.
But she's making so much money out
It's
of
a
it.
disease, Mike. You can't help it. How dare you? What are you saying, Dan?
I was saying that it's the other juggalos that are also naked winking at him.
Oh, so he's making...
Oh, it's a community.
Oh. So, the rhyme is actually just about building community on the streets, which makes it an A because that's what gangsters do.
Yes.
Wow. So it went from... Wow. Most improved.
Most improved. ICP, make another album. You're back in.
You're in. You're great.
Alright, so that was my ICP content.
Wow, I never thought I would have a conversation about Insane Clown Posse.
So go to your local Walmart and ask for Into the Echo Side and hope you get that rare vanilla ice.
That sounds delicious. I want some.
With the quarter French.
French Quarter.
French Quarter. Yes. That's my rapper name.
Yeah.
French Quarter.
French Quarter. Wow.
I have a really thick accent.
I have a thing for snails.
Yes. Alright. Do you have, do you want to take the floor?
Do I want to
go all day.
Yeah, dude. Let's see what you got, man.
Alright, so, video game question.
Yes.
Most unforgiving video games.
Ooh. That you've played? Or?
Yes, that you've played, and you're like, this game is just so unfair. And let me just get this out of the way. We're going to bring up Dark Souls.
Yeah, that's...
Everyone brings up Dark Souls.
Yep.
Though my brother does say, if you have the right timing for parrying, then attacking, and then it's pretty standard.
Yeah, it's pretty repetitive. But yeah, Dark Souls is pretty hard. Just off the top of my head, a game that I was really challenged by was Portal 2.
Especially co-op.
Especially co-op. If you want to test your relationship with somebody, if you want to bring some stuff to marriage counseling, play Portal 2 with Lynn.
Yes.
Because you will end up fighting.
There's actually achievements inside Portal 2 where you kill your friend.
For killing your partner.
Oh no.
And it's
oh no.
So, but yeah, no, Portal 2, just because it's, the whole physics puzzle thing is really hard, but yeah, no, it's definitely a challenge. But what do you think, Dan? Hardest game?
I'm going through some stuff in my head, but like, depends on what you consider hard, because there's like some games like Final Fantasy where it's just so long that it's just hard to finish.
That's
just because
true.
it's like you don't want to sit through it all because there's like 20 some odd hours of gameplay.
Plus.
If that.
Yeah,
Yes.
20 odd hours to get through the prologue.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
But then then there's games like Dota and League of Legends where it's just like the sheer just complexity of like playing against another human being.
Right, makes it hard.
I hate other human beings when it comes to video games. Because everyone in
so
video
much better.
games has the machine gun that goes like right to my heart. And I have the machine gun that shoots marbles to their earlobe.
Right. A minor annoyance.
Yes. And I hate that.
Yeah.
Like, I want that gun.
Right.
But then you end up getting that gun, but you still are shooting marbles at their earlobe.
Yeah, marbles at their earlobe.
Right. Definitely.
It's funny you mentioned Final Fantasy VII, because this is the one thing I hated about 90s to late 90s games is you're walking up to a boss, and then you save the game. Then the boss has like this 5-minute monologue. In Final Fantasy VII, you're in this cave, and you talk to Sephiroth. Like,
Spoilers.
the end of Disc 2, and he explains his evil plot. Then he gives you this harder-than-hard boss battle.
Yeah.
Where this face in this wall crushes you with stones, kills you in one hit, and then you start right back where you started, and you have to go through that monologue again.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh, I hate that so much. It's like you couldn't put the save after you talked to him.
Right.
And this was before skip buttons were invented.
Right. And of course, because it's the JRPG, you have to watch everything.
Yes. Same with Call of Cthulhu. There's this one level, and this is what inspired this question, is you wake up in this hotel room and these like 2 hicks with shotguns start opening your door, and you have to like run from them, close a bunch of doors, lock them, move bookcases, close a bunch of doors, lock them, and then there's like this jump that you have to like get like your foot 3/4 off the ledge to make it. And if you die, then you have to wake up in the hotel room again, see the whole cutscene. You know, by then I'm yelling out things Leviticus told me not to yell out.
Yes.
Eat that pork. You know,
I like raw squid.
Yes. Hand me those clams.
Oh man. But then I think kind of building off kind of what Dan was saying and with what you were saying, what makes a game hard? Like sometimes it's the content that is just really the skill cap is really high, or sometimes the mechanics in the game are just terrible.
Yes.
Yes.
So like Resident Evil, like some of the earlier Resident Evil games where the camera angle was fixed and the controls were clunky, it's just really hard to see those dogs.
Yes. Oh,
and they just get you, and it's just frustrating, and it's nothing that. Because you can be the best gamer in the world, but you can't, compensate for bad mechanics,
right?
And like game mechanics,
right? I'm trying to think of what's a horrible game that like just ruins you.
What's the game with the guy that has a grappling hook for his arm and you have to like swing around and
Commando, Bionic Commando.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or even old games, kind of like what is it called? It's not Angels and Demons. It was on the Super Nintendo, and it was like a side-scrolling. You played as a knight, and you could only
ActRaiser.
Yeah, that game was pretty hard. Or
Gauntlet,
like games like Gauntlet.
There's a game called Super Time Force, where every time you die, you have to go back in time a few seconds and then save yourself from dying. And it gives you, like, you have to beat, like, a 6-minute level in, like, a minute.
Right.
But you have to, like, keep reversing it until you keep shredding seconds off your game. And just keep going back in time, over and over, until you have, like, 1,000 little versions of yourself trying to save the 1,000 other versions of yourself. Just so you can beat it in the time. It's so annoying.
That sounds awful.
Yes. They did not think that through.
They did not.
Yeah.
That is horrible. Or even sport games, which are fun, but like if you put that on the hardest difficulty, you're like, are you breaking the laws of physics right now? Peyton Manning can't jump that high.
Why did he slam dunk the football?
Right.
From downtown. What I loved in NBA 2K5 is I'd turn off all the rules of a normal basketball game.
Oh no.
And then if you hit L3, you speared the player. And he would just automatically drop the ball. I'd grab it, dunk. New one, spear, dunk. I was amazing at that game.
Yes. I was amazing. Yes. I love it. Man, that's great.
Another good game that was like really hard was called Sword of the Berserk. It was a 6-hour game, but there were only 3 save points.
Yeah,
throughout the whole game.
Yeah, that's something else that makes games difficult. The when they limit your ability to save, kind of like Resident Evil 4. Is pretty infamous for that, where you have to save with typewriter ribbons, and you only have a certain amount of ability to save, or Dead Space, where you can only save at like certain spots.
Right.
And there's a game that came out recently, and I forgot what it was called, but it was all about it was this guy who went to an island he's a writer, and he was writing a story on a typewriter.
Oh, Alan Wake.
Yeah, and you can only save when there was light, there's like light around you, otherwise, so like you'd have to go find like a lamppost or, something like that, and that was the only place you could save.
Wow.
So, inventive games like that, I think are really cool, but when you tweak the dynamics of a game is when it makes it hard.
Before the Xbox 360 and PS3 came out, constant checkpoints wasn't a real thing. In fact, there was an article about it. They're drawing in more gamers with constant checkpoints, And I know now why, because after playing Call of Cthulhu,
Right.
it's like, I want to sell this back to Steam.
Right. It's hard. And games that were made back, back in the 80s and the 90s, they were designed, they might not have had much content because they didn't have as much space available.
Yeah.
But, you'd still take a month to play because you would have to replay the level over and over and over again because there wasn't as much saved.
Yeah. A friend tells me that the last level of Rock Band, you play all the songs one by one.
Back to back.
And if you can't save, so you just have to hit pause, live your life, come back.
I was gonna say, carve out 13 hours to play 40 songs.
Yeah. So, wow,
that's crazy.
All right. Any other impossible games that are unforgiving?
The hardest game that I've ever played is Winnie the Pooh Baseball. Have you heard about this?
No.
It's so apparently it's this thing on the internet, and for a while it was considered the hardest game in the world. It's a children's game, but the last level apparently is so hard to beat that nobody can beat it. So it's a game where you play as a batter and you play against they're different Winnie the Pooh characters that are the pitcher, and they each have a different ability. So Kanga's would hers could go up and down.
Wow.
So that inherently isn't too hard, and each character is a little bit different. So you go through, but Tigger, the last one, his would the pitch would be randomly generated and pretty impossible to hit because not only did you it wasn't like you were just sitting and waiting to hit spacebar, but you were controlling the person batting and the timing. So it was just so it was just one of those games where it was just the mechanics of the game were so hard because you had to just work out so much timing, and it was a kids game. It was designed to be a kids game, and I forgot what it's called. I think Winnie the Pooh Baseball, but so you can look up. You can look it up online, videos of it. It's insanely hard. I've played the game, so that would be probably the hardest game I've played.
Or the final level of Pac-Man when you break the game.
Well, I did not know about that.
So in Pac-Man, every time you beat a level, the ghosts progressively get smarter and they move faster. But there's not a level cap. It just gets to the point in the game. No, it's not even a ceiling because there isn't a ceiling placed in the game. The game just gets so difficult that the pixels start
disintegrating.
Not disintegrating. It just
they can't keep up.
No. So the ghosts still move in the same space, but the graphics are just completely just busted. And so you'll see random walls here and there, and you have to remember where the walls are for the Pac-Man and where all the dots are, and sometimes just random things will start popping up on the screen.
That's hilarious. Yes, on the Sega Genesis there was a game called Action 52, which had 52 lackluster, horrible games.
Of course.
And one of them, they had this competition where they if you can get to level 7 of asteroids, where you're this boy and you have to dodge all these asteroids, then we'll give you $10,000.
Oh, wow.
Well, apparently in level 6, you're just walking and your character disappears and it's game over.
The game ends itself at level 6.
Yes, they didn't even build a way to get to level 7.
That's so great. That's so trolling.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was good. So any particular games for you, Mike? Besides I think you mentioned Final Fantasy VII.
Well,
Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, Sword of the Berserk. And now that I think about it, NBA 2K5, where there was this free throw game you had to play, where you had to get the thumbsticks perfectly in this line while this ball goes up and down.
Yep.
And you needed to have a specialist thumbs to do it. It was so hard. I never made a free throw in that game correctly. And then in another game, it wasn't an NFL Madden game, but it was a knockoff done by the 2K people, where you get to play as old legends of the NFL and in these fake teams. And you had to do the goal kick.
Yeah.
and I never could get the goal kick down. Like, you hold it down on the right stick and you go up. It should be easy.
Right.
But every time I kick it, like, the ball would, like, loop around and, like, hit me in the face.
Right.
Something, like, ridiculous like that.
Yes, that's so good. That's horrifying.
So, that's why I gave up on sports.
In real life?
In real life.
Sports aren't for me.
Yeah. Please take that.
Please take it away from me.
Yeah.
Really good. Very cool. Next game.
Okay. We're looking at Dan.
Yeah, aggressively. And
Come on, Dan.
Come on, Dan.
I know.
He shrugs his shoulders.
He shrugged and gave us a sheepish grin.
Okay, so last Sunday was Go Topless Day.
Oh,
What?
According to the internet.
And we listen to everything the internet says.
Yes. So apparently this was a feminist empowerment urging women to go topless. So
In the streets.
in the streets, in public,
Looking at all the freaks.
in the freaks,
Yeah.
juggalo.
Yeah.
What does that say about the normalization of sexuality in a society?
In our society. That's a good question. And I feel like it's a very complicated issue because I feel like have you seen or there have also been articles about like breastfeeding, where and I agree with that that the women that are breastfeeding shouldn't feel shame about that and I think that's one thing, but to just run around like. I even get uncomfortable when like dudes are running around without their shirts on too. Like that's weird too. Like
Oh yeah.
like I don't know. I feel like as we read in Genesis, like there's a very distinct, very clear kind of correlation with correlation of nakedness and kind of sin. And I don't want to say that like being naked is like a sin, but like because obviously that's not the logical leap there. But what I am saying is that there's a certain level of modesty and a certain level of consequence of original sin that comes with being clothed, and that there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
And this sounds really weird. Like this is a weird conversation to have, but like there's a distinct reason, I think, and there's a reason for it.
And also with the story of the man that was that had a legion of demons inside of him when he was up inside, living inside a
The
graveyard.
tombstones,
Yeah, the tombstones. And how he was naked and he was like cutting himself and like beating himself up there. But then as soon as he met Jesus, he had clothes on him.
They put clothes on him. Yeah. So yeah, there's
in the right mind.
Right, and there's they're very clear correlations of between nakedness and sin in the Bible. You see, I was gonna say when the young man in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he runs away, he gets his cloak stripped from him, and
he had to explain that to outsiders who saw him.
Exactly. And so it's just like there's correlations, but I don't know, Mike. How do you feel about it?
Well, if you're talking about Renaissance, how the painters of that time drew nudity, like they did it in such a classy, such a natural way.
Sure.
You would never associate that with lust.
Right.
You would always say that's beautiful art.
Right.
And if we, as males, could think like that, this wouldn't even be a problem.
Right.
This would just be just a normal thing. The problem is
sin.
Yes. One, it brings us down.
Sure.
And the other thing is, it's going to cause some major judgment issues. I mean, that just opens up a whole new can of mocking and judging women when you have that kind of added value. Because, women would automatically assume, oh yeah, guys would be totally behind us if we had a Go Topless Day. And the truth is we would be talking behind your back, mocking you mercilessly. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
If you try to normalize it. And I'm glad that's not a feature that we have to compartmentalize and judge.
Sure.
I think also they're. I'm quoting someone else, but they're fighting absurdity with absurdity. So it's just kind of like they're trying to
Yeah.
I'm a woman, but I'm also a human being. So why should I guys go without their shirts on? So I'm gonna show I'm also a human being without a shirt on.
Right.
And so it's just kind of, I think that's also an aspect of what they're doing.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't know why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and what is the reason behind it? And I don't know. I would, if someone had that opinion, hopefully, I would like to sit down and talk with them, hopefully clothed, and
Yes.
and kind of see, why and what the reason is behind it, and because I don't know. I think that's a really good way to say it, Dan. Fighting absurdity with absurdity,
Right. And it just kind of pushes society in the wrong direction. Because our reasons for wanting this kind of day are not the reasons why God would want this kind of day.
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a reason why he gives us white robes and he doesn't go back to the Garden of Eden plan.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Although hopefully my new heavenly body will come with Channing Tatum abs.
Yes. I want John Cena or better.
I also want long flowing hair.
Yes.
Exactly.
Do you think it'll be like Create a Wrestler when we go to heaven?
We can hope. We can hope.
Because I want a shirt with my name on it.
Right. With the slits on the side for our movements.
I want the old 90s Sting makeup.
Yes,
The rainbow one, not the black and
Yes.
white one.
Yes. I want to...
but also we have full movement of arms because we
we
even
cut
though
the
we're
sleeves
jacked,
off.
but because we have new bodies, so we aren't limited by how far our arms can go. Because
Right.
those jacked guys that can't wipe their butt because they're so jacked.
I've never heard that. But that sounds like a really interesting problem.
Yes.
Let's explore that.
Is there a charity to help these guys?
Let's bring in Jared and see what he says.
Yes.
By the way, Jared is the most jacked person we know.
Yes.
Yep.
And he will wrestle you if you give him the wrong eye contact.
Or the right eye contact.
Or if you say hi.
Yeah, Jared likes to wrestle.
Or if you don't say hi.
Yeah. He likes to wrestle.
Yes.
Like real wrestling, not like WWE wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He will suplex you.
Yes.
And it will hurt.
Yes. And pin you.
And embarrass you in front of your friends.
Yes. Did you ever see... this reminds me of this meme.
Oh, no.
It starts off this safety poster where in case of a fire, this is how you pick up someone in a fireman's carry and get them to safety.
Okay.
But phase 1, you see them getting them into a fireman's carry while there's a fire. Cell 2, you see them climbing into a ring. Cell 3, they do a Death Valley driver off the top rope. And then the fourth one, they're celebrating.
That's amazing.
And I so want to do that.
Death Valley driver, someone?
Yes.
We'll do it someday.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Next question now.
Next question. So, nerd news.
Yes.
So, Zendaya, I hope I'm saying her name
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Did you hear about this?
She's playing Mary Jane
Yes.
in the new Spider-Man movie.
She's African American, right?
Yes.
Which is very cool.
And now, I've actually seen some pictures of her, and I think it's doable. She could make a very good Mary Jane if she's bubbly, like Mary Jane,
Sure.
inquisitive.
Mm-hmm.
But some internet people are like, no, you can't change canon.
Right. Mary Jane is white.
Yeah. And some people are even claiming that it's racially insensitive
To make her black?
to make her black instead of white.
How is that? Okay. Yeah.
Do you believe it is racially insensitive to change the race of a character?
I think it depends on the context. Because in, what is it, Egypt, or is it, Egypt, or,
Gods of Egypt.
Gods of
or
Egypt,
whatever.
when they changed it, they changed the Egyptian gods into white people. I think that's pretty insensitive.
Or the forest, like the horror movie about the Japanese forest where the most suicides happen, like how they're all white people basically making fun of this very popular suicide spot in Japan.
Yeah.
Right.
Man.
However, I also think at the same time we can't say that or is her name Zendaya?
Yeah, Zendaya.
She obviously got the part because one, she's a talented actress and she probably fits what the director was looking for. And conversely, the same should be said for white people trying to play other parts. And it should be based on merit and talent and not on skin. However, that would be like in a perfect world, and unfortunately we live in a society where there are certain prejudices and there are certain things that you just can't happen. Like you can't have a white person play an African American slave. That would be insensitive, and that would be and that would just blackface isn't okay.
Yeah, and some people would fight with you. They would say, well, why not? I mean, the popular argument on these forums is, if Mary Jane can be played by a black person, then Luke Cage should be played by a white person. Yeah.
Because, then you would point to say that, okay, well, there isn't a systemic level of racism. It's just not okay for that to happen. Is it 16 Candles where a white guy plays an Asian person and every time he speaks a gong goes off? That's not okay.
Yeah. Which makes me want to bring up being married into an Asian culture. How Asia looks at their people and how America looks at their people in entertainment is ridiculous, and I honestly don't know why they don't have an Asian Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Because whenever you see an Asian movie, the Asian guy is only allowed to deliver food on a bike.
Yeah.
No karate.
Right.
Or be like the cute model.
Right. And you mean in Hollywood,
in Hollywood,
right.
And
or is the tech guy.
Sometimes they're a doctor.
Sometimes.
Yes. And it seems like they're so typecast into that that
there aren't well, Dan and I are half Filipino, and growing up there just weren't movies with positive kind of male lead Asian characters. I mean there was was it Gizmo and what's his name, Gizmo? What's the name of the Asian kid in the Goonies? Gadget.
Yes.
We had Gadget.
Yes.
That's all we had.
Right. And it's if you watch Korean soap operas or any of the television in Asia, Asians can be anything.
Absolutely.
They can be plumbers. They can be the president.
They can be plumbers?
They can be plumbers.
That's crazy.
They can be prom king.
Oh.
And they're not the butt of jokes. They're not the token Asian guy.
Right. And it's, well, it's even when the character is cool, they become the token Asian guy. In the Fast and the Furious franchise, the one Asian guy, his name's Chen, I think. Mm-hmm. Well, they all have 3 different names. They're Chen, Lin, or Lee.
Right.
And his character is just the token Asian guy. Mm-hmm. But however, I will say that they did something really cool where they paired him up with a white woman, which was really cool to see. Anytime that Hollywood does interracial stuff, I think that's really cool.
Yes.
That's real positive. That's good.
There is one movie that I am blanking on everything. Mm-hmm. It has a lead Asian.
Okay.
And he plays an actor. Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah.
Yep. She has a crush on him through the whole movie.
Yep.
And he does all these roles where people ask, do you know karate? And so it's a big running joke.
Yeah.
But he actually plays a very credible character. Mm-hmm. And I love how he's portrayed and how they bring in his culture and how he's not the butt of a joke, but he's actually a character that you'd want to get to know.
Right. Very interesting. It's not Heroes?
It's not Heroes. I would love to just ramble it off, but I'm sure if you go to IMDb, type in that Hayden
Panettiere
name and look down
Yeah.
in her IMDb,
You would find it.
you would eventually find it.
Well, even the guy in Heroes, his name is Hero in it, right?
Yes.
His character is really cool and plays an integral part in the show. And he's he's a really cool, not necessarily typecasted. I think he's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. Speaking of famous Asians,
Wow, the
my
irony.
housemate, our housemate Caleb just walked in.
Hi.
Right, yes.
Podcast.
Yeah, we're making a podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're actually talking about how in Hollywood. Well, did you hear about in the new Spider-Man movie? There's an actress named Zendaya who's she's African American, but she's gonna play Mary Jane, which is really cool. But then you were talking, and then we started talking about how in Hollywood, like, there's not a lot of like Asian leading men, like in shows, and I don't know. What do you think?
You're right.
Perfect, nailed it.
Nailed it.
From the mouth of an Asian.
Yes. So, yeah. And kind of a spin-off of that, there's actually a real sickness in Japan. Because in Japan, they believe that that France is the center of love and it's a paradise.
Yeah.
And then they actually visit France and they see that it's a trash dump.
And they get sad.
And they get like this form of depression that they rarely ever get over. And like I was thinking about that, like do we feel that way about Japan?
Yeah.
Like, we think Japan is like robots coming around,
Right.
holograms, and everyone gets a katana.
Right. But in actuality, they just really like PlayStation 4.
Yes. In actuality, I actually learned that not a lot of places have the newest technology, and they still use fax machines.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. You mean they're just like America?
Yes. They actually live like normal people.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's so easy, and I think going back to the original premise of the question is we fall so easily into stereotypes where we want to just categorize everything. And whenever something breaks the mold, we're like, we get upset.
Yeah, I would say that going to Toronto, Scarborough, Toronto, it's a suburb. It's mostly Asian. And, like, that just kind of blew my mind about the whole culture.
Word. Very true. Yeah. Word. And that's... do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, so a little bit more on the whole... talking about how there isn't really anyone inside the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Going back to video games, the game Overwatch, and how just, like, they've destroyed a lot of stereotypes about characters, but then they also make fun of a lot of stereotypes about people. Just like how there's a character, I forgot what her name is, but she like dashes through time, and and so she's a very like old British like lady, and she's like really awesome.
Right.
But then there's also this very jacked, not Russian. What is she? I don't know, but she has a giant gravity gun, and she's massive, and she's awesome. But then, so it's just like, inside the game industry, they're starting to bring a lot of attention to, like...
Calling out stereotypes and breaking molds. Which is cool.
And, like, a lot of, like, the body portions aren't, like, the stick figure,
Right.
like, lady with the giant...
boobages.
Yes.
Looking at you, dead or alive.
Yeah.
Right. And they're actually... I saw this really funny meme where they... it was like a comment section of a Tumblr thing. And it was like there was a picture of a woman wearing, like, body armor. But, like, real, like, body armor.
Yeah.
Like, she was at, like, with, like, a kite shield and everything. And the comment was, like... I can't even tell that it's a woman wearing body armor. And then somebody else commented, like, why does that matter? It's body armor. You're not supposed to tell what's inside of it. That's the whole point. Like, it's not supposed to be sexy. Like, you're wearing body armor. And it's just like, it's insane.
Throwing away that whole rule that women's skin is stronger. That's why they wear less clothing.
Right. Like, no one has ever
RPGs.
thought of that. No one has ever...
That's the running theory.
You played Final Fantasy VII. You know what happens when you get
Yes.
stabbed with a giant sword.
Hey,
And
hey,
you're
hey.
a woman.
Spoilers.
And she's wearing a full dress. So
And
what
she's
does that
wearing-
tell you?
So there's actually a theory about that.
Oh, God.
How she didn't actually die from getting stabbed. She died from drowning. Because bodies, they actually float if they're dead. Because they get filled with oxygen.
Right.
Because there's nothing and a bunch of other contaminants in your body
Right.
actually float on top of water.
Right.
But if you're alive and you're unconscious, you sink.
Right.
So when at the funeral that they had when they sent her off to the sea, she sank into the water.
Right.
Not floated on top of the water.
How could he get the Phoenix down and everything would have been okay?
Oh yeah.
So,
The moral of this story is check your inventory.
Right. There's actually a parody video about people who abuse Phoenix down addiction.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's about people who are addicted to killing themselves and then using Phoenix down.
That's horrifying.
And they're like, we need to get you off this drug. Stop killing yourself.
Uh-huh.
We can't use Phoenix down anymore to save
And
you.
they're like, no, I want this.
Yes.
So, I mean, here's a question. If you could have one item from any video game, what would it be? What would you want? That's such a serious question. Right? And I'm equally unprepared, because that opens a whole lot of questions. Caleb definitely wants an energy sword from Halo.
I
Caleb
don't
wants...
think I'd even go with that. 'cause
Oh.
There's just so many options.
That is.
You could have the Spartan armor from Halo as well.
That'd be cool.
I mean, think of all of Link's inventory
Yeah.
that he carries around.
Just
You could
whip
have
out
a real Master Sword.
just whip out a Master Sword. I think a portal gun would be pretty cool. A portal gun would be sick. I don't know. Or even the physics gun from Half-Life.
Okay. Yeah.
Where you pick up stuff. It'd be cool.
Yo, the BFG.
The BFG. What would you do with it?
You pointed at a city.
Destroy it.
Yes.
Destroy it.
I've always wanted.
Rosamund's Hurricane.
Why?
It's an item in League of Legends, and it's a ball that floats above you and it shoots darts. I know, it's seriously, Mike.
So, in the Heretic 2 games, there was this bow and arrow. The first bow and arrow you get in the game. And, it's cool just having a bow and arrow. But not only does it shoot someone with an arrow, but a rain cloud goes over them and strikes them with multiple lightning. So, if you didn't think you hit them, you hit them.
Mike, what would you do with this?
Solid Snake's latex
Morph suit?
morph suit thing.
You know that they make those in real life, Dan. Everything except the metal gears are real in that. The guns,
But you can turn
the boxes.
invisible too with it.
That's fair.
No, because he's got nanotech.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
So that's what makes him. That's what makes the suit special. So you can have the
Yeah.
suit, but you don't have the means
Okay.
to operate it.
That's
So-
true.
In Metal Gear Solid, in the fourth one, they had these tanks with these French legs.
Yeah,
French
those are
chicken legs.
the Metal Gears.
Yeah.
Those are the
Oh, I was saying those are real French leg robots.
yes.
AT-AT walkers.
In some underground facility, in France, someplace.
Yeah,
Yes.
with the legs.
The
But-
They're
Iron
trying to
Man
redeem
suit.
themselves from both World Wars.
Yeah. I'm gonna say final answer. I want the portal gun, because I just feel like I could get up to a lot of shenanigans
Oh,
with that.
yeah.
That's a good answer.
I'm gonna go with that.
In most video games, the Phoenix down is usually 500 gold, 700 gold.
Right.
But in the Mario RPG, instead of Phoenix down, they had pick-me-ups, which were 5 gold.
That's
You
ridiculous.
get 60 of them and never die. So I always wanted that price.
So if I had a constant amount of Atom from Bioshock,
Okay.
I'd pick plasmids.
Plasmids, that'd be cool.
Okay.
Sorted plasmids, that'd be cool. What do you think, Dan? Dan's like, I want the golden gun from GoldenEye.
There's so many good options.
That's true. Dan, you would take Nautilus's anchor.
No. I would probably take his suit.
Go faster boots.
Yeah.
No.
Hollis is also from League of Legends.
Yes, I already talked about him.
Make a decision.
Sorry. I would probably get the mirror shield from Zelda.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, you know, in Minority Report, the movie, they had the shotgun. It didn't shoot out shells, but it shot out like a blast of force.
Yeah.
So it would just like
Concussive,
knock people up. That's what I want.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, there's
The gravity hammer.
gravity hammer. You want a gravity hammer? So in Wolfenstein, you can get. Nope, it's not Wolfenstein. I don't know what I'm thinking of. No, Saints Row 3.
Oh, no. I don't like where this is
There's
going.
a gun that you can get
Okay.
that's like that.
Yeah.
Where the longer you hold it down, the more concussive force you can get. So like you can have a small blast that just pushes people over, or you can charge it up and like just destroy stuff.
Or the giant, like,
Oh,
boxing fist.
there's you can get like this item called the Fist of Apocalypse,
Yes.
and you one punch people and they explode.
Oh, God.
Saints Row 3 is a very delightful game.
Or Saints Row 4, the dubstep gun.
Oh, the dubstep gun.
Oh, God.
Anyway, sorry, we
yeah.
stupid.
So many.
I think we got time for one more game and then the taste test,
the taste test.
and then the
Okay.
taste test. So one
So-
more game and taste test.
This next game I've always wanted to play.
Perfect.
It's called Can You Guess This Backwards Movie?
Yes.
So, I'm going to explain the plot of a movie backwards,
Okay.
and you have to guess what that movie is.
Okay.
For example, after a boat resurrects itself, a poor lover and a rich girl find out that their differences are too great, and she finds an aristocrat to marry.
Titanic.
Titanic, correct.
Poseidon down.
Alright.
Poseidon down. My bad.
Two zombies rise from the dead after a suicide pact and realize their family differences are too great for them to stay together.
Romeo and Juliet.
Correct.
Well, that's not a movie, unless you're talking about the Leonardo
No.
DiCaprio version.
Or Romeo and Juliet.
I don't think they die at that.
Boom. Yeah, they don't die at the end of Romeo and Juliet.
Darn, they should.
The Leonardo DiCaprio version. Have you guys seen that? So it's
really good.
it takes place like in the real world,
Yes.
like modern day, and with guns and stuff. But they speak like they're from Shakespeare.
Yeah, right.
It's
That's
super
awesome.
It's intense.
It's
And-
intense. A father sells his daughter into slavery after he decides she won't take his karaoke machine as a gift.
I'd say, see, when he said sell daughter into slavery, I'd say Taken.
That's correct, it's Taken.
Is it really?
I would actually want to see that movie called Sadistic Father.
Yo, that's so dark.
Yeah.
Oh,
Taken?
Yes.
That's crazy.
I've never actually seen that movie. Movies.
Okay, after his gigantic space station explodes, an angry dictator takes his revenge out on lonely farm boys from different planets.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Alright. Man, these are going too fast.
If we didn't get that, we'd be fired from this podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
A man.
What?
I have one. A
Oh,
man
okay.
that puts people into precarious situations, then runs away and hides.
That was so vague.
I'm gonna say Saw?
Superman.
What?
You had nothing to go on.
That was zero context.
You
Stop.
need more nouns.
Yeah.
Okay, some more verbs. Alright. A group of musicians find one of their own has HIV, so they decide the music business is too dangerous, and they live a life of crime. Oh, wait. Oh, I skipped one. And, okay, one more time.
read it all.
A group of musicians find one of their own has HIV, so they decide the music business is too dangerous and retire to the peaceful life of living on the streets.
Oh!
What? Straight out of Compton?
Yes.
You didn't do it.
I think you were going to
It's
say
about-
August Rush.
No, it's about, I forgot what the rapper's name was.
And so did we.
I have no idea what you're talking
You
about.
can
See?
forget things on podcasts, right?
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Oh, well.
Anyways.
The movie. Alright. After a group of superheroes save a city from an ancient threat, they realize that a life of crime is far more rewarding, so they return to prison.
We saw this movie recently. Dan.
Dan.
Have you seen this yet? I don't know if you have. Have you seen Suicide Squad?
Nope.
Oh, well. Suicide Squad.
Yes, correct. A young man realizes his life is too dark and sadistic, So he gets into a time machine and saves his parents from a gunman.
From a gunman. Back to the future?
No, I threw in the time machine for creative licensing.
Oh,
But he would have.
It'd be like a Batman film.
It would be Batman.
it would be Batman.
Yes.
What's with the time machine?
Machine, though. What the hell?
Time machine
How
threw
else
me
is he
off.
going to go back to
I
this?
declare false advertisement.
I would watch a movie where a man tries to undarken his life.
False advertising.
Ooh, you'll like this one.
Okay.
A group of men put on more and more clothing to quiet a horde of women.
Hey, Dan, that sounds like, He's unbuttoning his shirt, everyone at home.
Magic Mike.
Yes, I can imagine a movie where, like, oh no, these women are too loud. Quick, put on more clothing.
Is that your daily life, Mike?
Yes. Put it on. Oh. A teenage boy frees animals from tiny cages and releases them back in the wild to be free from underground fights.
Pokemon?
That is Pokemon, yes.
Wow, good job. That's really good.
Ooh, now this one. An astronaut finds the new Earth too beautiful and clean, so he returns to Earth in a warp hole to start ruining crops.
Oh, man.
Sounds like a really twisted Wall-E.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Alright.
Is it Wall? Oh! Dang it!
Shoot.
Oh! Is it the one with is that the movie with Anne Hathaway?
Yes.
It's not Interstellar, is it?
Yes.
Hey, got it.
And the final one, a feminist is tired of losing her voice in man's world, so she becomes a fish and starts hoarding trash.
It starts hoarding trash.
I know.
What did it say?
Little Mermaid. You haven't seen
Oh,
this
okay, I've
yet.
never seen it.
Little Mermaid. I would like to see that movie.
I've never seen Little
I'm
Mermaid.
sick of this world. Make me a fish.
Make me a fish. Yeah, I've never seen Disney movies. Interesting
Alright.
fact.
So that is our game, the Guess This Backwards movie.
Yay! Okay.
Alright.
So now we're gonna taste our terrible tea.
Chrysanthum Tea. It's been sitting in my car for a little bit, and you're gonna learn that sometimes sugar can't save a drink.
Have you had this before?
I had one.
I'm so scared. Okay, here are the ingredients: water, starting off good. Sugar, dry chrysanthemum, sodium citrate.
Oh dear.
There's a bunch of like Chinese characters and what's the language of Singapore?
Oh gosh. I'm married to someone who knows the answer to that. It's as far as I can go.
I
Taiwanese?
think it might be Taiwanese.
Yeah, it says ultra high temperature technology, no preservatives required.
Oh, nice.
Is that just them saying that it's pasteurized?
Does that mean
Yes.
it's somewhat natural compared to fake natural?
I mean, everything that's in there seems natural. Serving size is 1 carton. There are 90 calories. Oh, there's a lot of sugar in this. There's 22 grams.
And
Wow.
you think it would save it?
Oh, Dan's
Okay.
attempting.
Okay, so,
He's smelling it.
Yeah, what does it smell like, Dan?
Chrysanthemum.
It smells like a flower.
I just spilled a bunch on myself.
Does it burn? This happened last time. Jenny spilled some of her drink on herself. She's never
It
been the same
smells-
since.
Yes.
She's turned responsible.
Does it
Yes.
smell like sour? Does it smell like chrysanthemum?
I don't know what that
what
smells like.
Go outside, eat that flower.
So on the cartridge it says best before date month year. There's no you must use by
You have
date.
to squeeze it a little bit. That's why I got it all over my pants.
See, I can't smell it.
Okay,
You'll taste it.
okay, you ready, Dan? Okay, no, cheers,
Bottoms up.
kampai. Oh, it tastes. You know what it tastes like? It tastes.
It's worse.
It gets worse. It tastes like the inside of like a Yankee candle.
as it sits.
It tastes like you walk into an antique store and breathe really forcefully. Yeah.
It kind of tastes like you
Caleb
dropped
likes it.
lemonade on a flower garden instead of getting new
It
lemonade.
tastes like. So have you had like loose leaf tea
Yeah.
before? Really bad loose leaf tea mixed
Really?
with lemonade.
I actually like this. This isn't actually bad. I would drink this.
I'm actually
Really?
I enjoy it.
I'm pleasantly surprised.
Oh,
It's-
no.
I really don't like the aftertaste. Like it gets worse if it sits.
If it was like chilled, like
Yeah.
it was cold, I
Yeah.
actually would
I
be.
would-
This would be quite refreshing.
It tastes like hold on.
It's like a little lemony flavor to it.
Mm-hmm. It does. I don't know. I like it, Mike. Good choice.
Wow. I should have went with the black soy.
Ah!
You know what you should do?
Mike, you're
Some
slipping.
durian.
No.
Durian. Oh, it smells like diesel and it tastes like a diaper.
And that's the name of our podcast.
It smells like these.
It tastes like a diaper.
And you should put a picture of Big Daddy Cool, like Diesel.
That literally sounded like my work today, though.
What?
It smells like a diesel.
Is that a euphemism, Caleb?
I don't know, Adam. What do you think it is?
So, what did you learn today, Mike?
Well, what did I learn? I would like to take what I learned and reduce it to 5 words.
Okay.
So if I could reduce everything into 5 words, it would be sometimes racism can taste like flowers.
That was 6.
Darn it! All right, you guys try.
Chrysanthum tea drink is good. Dan's like, I can't count.
I don't even know how to read.
And on that bombshell,
On that bombshell.
it's time to end.
Join us next time when things happen and nouns will appear.
Wow,
Yes.
They're-
Deep.
they're riveted, I'm sure.
Yes.
Hang on to your butts, kids.
Wink.
Bye.